Hey guys, Miss Corcoran here, and today we are going to do the cut line in Adobe Illustrator. So here is my finished design, and you'll notice that I have some words on here and my two hands, which are slightly different, and now I have to think about what I want the printer to actually cut around. Do I want it to cut out every letter? I certainly don't want it to cut out the inside of this because it's too difficult. So what I've decided is I just want to do a general shape around the outside of my whole design after I'm done. Now you'll notice that my design is not colored in, so feel free to use as much color as you want. Remember, the printer does full color. So right here I'm going to open up my layers panel, and I noticed that I had a layer underneath of here where my photo used to be, where I was tracing. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. And then I'm going to add a new layer, and I'm going to label this layer CutContour, capital C, capital C. This is extremely important. It has to be exactly this. CutContour, capital C, capital C. And now what I'm going to do is start making the path that I want the printer to cut. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to go ahead and go to my bottom layer, and I'm going to select my hand, and I'm going to Command C. Then I'm going to go to my top layer and say Shift Command V, and that will paste my hand in place. So you'll notice if I turn this off, there is my hand on my top layer. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my other hand. Command C for copy. Select my top layer and Shift Command V to paste in place. And again, turning my visibility off, you can see I have two hands now at the top. Now I don't want the printer to cut that exact line, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lock this, and I am going to go into my direct selection, and I'm going to start editing my path to make it more exactly what I want the printer to cut. So I'm going to come up here, you can see I'm just moving this out a little bit. And then I'm going to bring this down. And you're making a path around the outside of this. Now, what I want the printer to do is stop cutting here and then start cutting down here. So I'm going to have to remove these anchor points here, and we can use that scissors tool to do that. Now your scissors tool is in here somewhere, or you can just press C for scissors. So I'm going to press C, and I'm going to cut this, and I'm going to cut this, my selection tool, delete. Okay, so now I have a good start on my hand path, and I'm going to carry on with that. Going all the way around. And I'm going to stop here because remember, this is a path already too. So again, the scissors tool is a C, and I'm going to select this, and I'm going to select this, grab my selection tool, delete that, and delete that. Now for this one, you'll notice that this path is still right on top of the path underneath. So what I need to do is move this path out just a little bit to the outside. Now on the right side I did that manually, and on the left side I'm going to teach you how to do what's called an offset path. So you're going to go to Object, Path, Offset Path, and you can see that it has made a path right on the outside all the way around my hand, and I'm pretty happy with that, but I'm going to bring it down a little bit. It's kind of big, so you can just adjust these numbers. Still kind of big. How about 04? That's good. All right, and we're going to hit OK. And now what I'm going to do is use the scissors tool again to cut that and cut that. And now I have a nice path going here, and I just have to connect these two. And I'm going to have to join those paths again in a minute here. Okay. So I'm going to move that. I just want to curve it a little bit, go back to my pen tool, and continue on my way with my cut line. So this can be really slow, but take your time. You have today and tomorrow. And you'll notice that the path starts to get a little wonky, and you can always go back in when you're done with your direct selection, that's the white arrow, to move individual anchor points. So I'm going to go all the way down here. And back to my 0. As soon as you see that 0 appear, then you'll know you are going back to your point of origin and closing the path. This is a very important thing to do. So now all I'm going to do is go back here and make very small changes and adjustments to my path to make sure that it's exactly how I want it to be. And you are going to be probably moving the handle as well as anchor points. And again, you're doing this using the direct selection. There we go, I like that a little better. This one's a problem right here. I'm gonna bring it down. So you're starting to get a sense of the outline that the printer is going to cut. And you'll notice that like on the right here, the one that I did manually, see how imperfect it is? And then look at the one that I've done on the left. It's very exact. So this is the difference between doing something manually and then using the offset path on the left side. So I'm going to bring these guys down a little bit, just get a better outline going. Again, using my handles. Pretty good. Okay, now I am going to go back in and fix this, but for the sake of time, because my video is already 8 minutes long, I'm going to just show you the next step is to change the entire color. So I'm going to go ahead and select my top layer, and you are going to double click on your stroke, and what you are going to enter is 0, 100, 0, and 0, and hit enter. And now you have the exact color that your stroke needs to be for the printer to magically realize that you want to do a cut line. Now if you notice, this one I need to take out. So as soon as you change the color, you'll start seeing kind of your imperfections here. There you go. So now I have my design and the cut line. The final step is to select your bottom layer, and you are going to go to Object, Flatten Transparency. And on this you can see there's a bunch of settings here, and on the direction sheets it has the chart exactly as you want all of these boxes to be checked and unchecked. But we're going to uncheck these and uncheck this, and you're going to say OK. And then you'll notice right away it's moved this up to the top, so you got to move it back down. And then you are going to save, File, Save as a PDF. As a PDF. Now it's important to note that if you have effects on your appearance of your file, let's say you have a drop shadow on your hand, it's not going to work. So you can't have any effects over here. And if you go to Appearance panel, you'll see how it says default, that's all fine. So you know you don't have any special effects going on with your image, but sometimes you do. But the printer will not be able to cut your image file if you have special effects going on. Okay, that is how you do the cut line. Please let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll see you soon.